What shapes your behavior? Now, you could probably come up with a list of a number of things. But if wisdom isn't right up there at the top, you may want to rethink your list. I'm Dave Fleming. In over 30 years, I've worked with a diverse set of leaders in industries, from two guys in a garage, literally, to multi-billion-dollar companies. During this time, I collected and curated wisdom that I want to share with you, because at the heart of it, we're all leaders. Let's figure this out together. What if you had to remember to breathe every time you took a breath? Really, just think about it. It would significantly reduce anything else you could do in your life. If at every breath you had to remember to breathe, or you would suffocate. The ability to slow my breathing down, the ability to become aware of my breathing is a wonderful thing. But equally wonderful, if not more wonderful, is the fact that I don't have to remember to breathe. It just happens. Now, let's just take that and move it over to the area of behavior in life. What shapes your behavior? Can you imagine if every time you found yourself in a situation, you had to construct for the first time a smart and wise way to handle that situation? That there was no experience that you could draw on, no good ideas or insights that you could draw on from the past. But every time you hit a new situation, you'd have to say, okay, I have to go all the way back to zero and start over. None of my past can help. Well, unfortunately, that's a lot of the time how we behave. When we don't have wisdom at the top of our list as one of those elements that shapes our behavior, that shapes our life. Now, the good news is there is a body of wisdom out in the world that, like breathing, can become more automatic in your ability to access it in every given moment. You don't have to create wisdom every time you need it. There is a body of wisdom, hard fought and hard won from centuries gone by all the way to today. And that's why living a wisdom path and studying a wise way of living, the unexamined life is not worth living. What is wisdom? Wisdom is applying insights in real time. It's applied knowledge. It's coming to that moment where I want to say something to my wife and not saying it. Or it's coming to a moment where I want to say something to my wife and saying it. Because wisdom helps you discern the difference. What are you using to construct a body of wisdom that's accessible to you in every given moment? So the more that you draw it up, the more accessible it is. The more automatically accessible it is. Because as I draw it up again and again and again, it starts to take the shape of my life and my life takes the shape of it. It becomes, we might say, my character. The ancient Greeks used that word, and the metaphor was, it was like an engraving on a coin. What's being engraved every day in your character? The good news is, like breath, you don't have to construct it every day like it's all brand new. Now, where can you find some of this wisdom? Well, we know philosophies of life, Stoicism, the work of Aristotle, other philosophers. We could just go on and on and on and on and on, all the way through history, coming up with different experiences that people had, and they codified those experiences, and now they're available to you. Religions have good wisdom in them. They also have a lot of goofy stuff in them and ridiculous notions that you have to pay attention to, because often a religion requires you to believe something. Usually that's not really believable. But if you cull that stuff out, there's lots of good, wise, practical ways of living life you can find in religious traditions and writings. The point is this: what is shaping your life? If wisdom isn't at the top of that list, then we are more prone to be pulled about by the whims of the moment and the reactivities of our shallowness. Bring wisdom consistently into your life through what you read, through how you talk to your friends, through the practices you focus on during the day, the things that you focus on in your mind, the thoughts you allow to stay versus the ones you usher out the back door. I mean, we could go on and on. But the more I pay attention to wisdom, to virtue, to values that help me live the way I want to live in the world, both to have a meaningful life and express that in meaningful and in ways that contribute, the more wisdom can help me shape that. And then, when I need that wisdom, in any moment I find myself in, it becomes more like taking my next breath. It's there for the taking. Walk a wisdom path. Put wisdom at the top of that list and see what it does for your everyday experience.